Hi, it's Sarah here. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day today. I was sitting on the floor a couple of days ago with bare feet and a beetle crawled over my foot. Now I like beetles, so I didn't mind. But afterwards I thought, had that been a spider, I probably would have flung my foot and shaken the poor thing off to the ground. So that got me wondering, why is humanity so scared of spiders? Spiders are actually in the top 5 of people's phobias. But why? They're not that different to a beetle. There are a few poisonous ones, but not that many, and very few people die of spider bites every year. So why are spiders so frightening to people? And as I was wondering this, Spirit took me down this remembrance path. So the first place they took me to was remembering a time when one of my boys, he was 18 months, and we were standing in a bathroom in Australia. And I was washing my hands in the sink, and he was standing behind me, and all of a sudden he let out this horrible groan. And I turned around and there was a large snake crawling across his foot. Now he instinctively knew to stand still, but he also instinctively knew it was something that wasn't very pleasant. He had this innate fear of this snake, hence the groan. So this snake crawled off and everything was okay in the end. But I was thinking, well, why? How did he know? Why did he know? And this is all to do with the collective consciousness. We have our own consciousness, each person, but we also share a consciousness called the collective consciousness. And so over the millennia, humanity has awoken to the discovery that don't touch the thing that hisses across the floor, and don't touch the thing that hisses and slithers across the floor, because it can kill you. And then once one person's discovered that, then another person, and eventually it's shared around the whole collective consciousness. So everybody is born with this innate fear of snakes, this regard for snakes. As a toddler, you wouldn't touch a snake because you have this collective consciousness. It's in your awareness, it's in your consciousness not to touch it. Then Spirit took me down another path, remembering a time about 7 years ago. I was sat in a car with a Native American lady, and she was a mature, serious woman. And on the journey, she was giving me a lift. She received this phone call from some friends of hers, and they had found a giant spider in an underground tunnel. They'd been excavating this tunnel and found this gigantic spider. Now, it all seemed very genuine. I had no reason not to believe her, but at the time I was thinking, this is very surreal. This is a very bizarre conversation to be having. And now I know why. It was all to do with this. And so she dropped me off, and then she was going to go racing back to see the spider. Then Spirit took me down this path to remembering Atlantean times. Now, when Atlantis started off, it was very high vibrational, and everybody was full of love and light. And then humanity is always on this spiral towards God and away from God. And so humanity decided it was time to turn away from God. And so humanity fell in its vibration. And at that time, the technologies there were way beyond what we have now. Their geneticists had knowledge way beyond what we have now. And they started to do some really vile experiments. So they merged together people and animals. And then they mutated people, making them really big. And they mutated some animals, making them really big. And one of the animals they mutated was a spider. So back in the times of Atlantis, we actually had gigantic spiders. And so this is the reason we have the fear. We had every right to be scared of spiders at that time because they were dangerous and they did kill people. However, we've held on to this fear. It's still in our collective consciousness. Now, when Spirit are trying to give us a wake-up call, trying to get our attention to something, they show us whatever they're trying to wake us up to in movies, in popular movies. So they gave us the movie The Matrix. And if you remember about 20 years ago, I'm sure nobody's forgotten, but they gave us the Harry Potter books and movies. In the Harry Potter books, there was a centaur, half person, half animal, and there was some gigantic spiders. And So what would have happened was that J.K. Rowling, who wrote the books, would have been receiving information from Spirit. It's something she wouldn't have been aware of. She would have been doing it subconsciously. But Spirit were trying to get our attention to these gigantic spiders and this centaur as to what had happened, so we can change something in the future. And so when I was thinking, oh, yes, okay, this all makes sense, then they took me to thinking about the movie The Matrix. And in the movie The Matrix, I don't know if you haven't seen it, it's about a hero, Keanu Reeves, who discovers that we're living in some kind of simulation. So that everything we see and hear, etc., isn't real. It's a simulation, and it's run by bad guys. And he is the hero. He leaves the Matrix and then tries to destroy the bad guys and destroy the Matrix and free humanity. And so I was thinking about the Matrix, and I know the Matrix is real because A, Spirit had told me, and B, I was involved in the 2012 shift of the Matrix, so I know it exists. And I was thinking, oh, well, actually the Matrix is actually made up of our collective consciousness. It's not run by bad guys. It is made by humanity's collective consciousness. And when the penny dropped, Spirit came back and said, when 75% of people change their beliefs, it will change it in the Matrix. So if we take spiders, for example, if enough people say, when they see a spider, giant spiders don't exist anymore, spiders are safe, when 75% of the population have made that a belief, then A, there will be no poisonous spiders, they will cease to exist, all spiders will be safe, and B, humanity won't have that phobia anymore. And spiders are a small example, but this is how we are going to change the Matrix. This is how we are going to bring in the golden age and bring heaven to earth. We will have enough people to change a belief, and so we can change it in the Matrix. It's kind of like when you have a disease and enough people have a vaccination that gives you humanity herd immunity, and it takes the disease out. It's going to be the same. When enough people have the belief, we're going to take, say, poisonous spiders, they will cease to exist in our Matrix. They will cease to exist in our reality. Now, spiders are a really small example, but just think of the potential. We can use this to eradicate disease, to eradicate pollution. We can change weather systems so that everybody has enough food and water to drink. The potential for this is absolutely enormous. And so this, as I say, this is how we're going to bring in the golden age and bring heaven to earth. Okay, I hope you found that interesting. If you have any ideas that you would like to see change in the Matrix, leave it in the comments. Okay, much love, many blessings from my heart to yours.